Namaste. On behalf of Nandini, Anand, and their families, and the Dhirana family, I'd like to welcome everyone to Medhansh's debut Bharatanatyam recital, also known as an Arangetram. I'm Smita Karthik, and I'll be guiding you all through today's performance. Bharatanatyam is an ancient classical dance form from India that incorporates intricate footwork, expressive hand gestures called mudras, and well-defined facial expressions called abhinaya that convey the narrative expressed through poetry or song. Arangam is stage in Tamil, and Yetram means ascending. Traditionally, an Arangetram is the first full-fledged debut performance of a dancer as a soloist. The student performs an entire margam or dance repertoire that begins with the basic steps that the dancer learns, all the way to the more emotive pieces that demand a deep understanding of the human emotions. An Arangetram typically concludes with a thrilling Tilana, a celebration of pure dance. This first performance is an outcome of many years of intense training before Medhansh's guru decided that he was ready to present on stage as a soloist. Once again, thank you all for being here tonight this evening to support Medhansh as he steps onto stage as a soloist. Before we begin, a few house rules. Bharata Muni, the author of Natya Shastra, an ancient treatise on the performing arts, wrote, Yato hastha tato drishti, yato drishti tato manaha, yato manaha tato bhava, yato bhava tato rasa. In English, where the hands are, the eyes go, or the drishti. Where the eyes are, go the mind or the manaha. Where the mind goes, there is an expression of inner feeling or bhava, and where there is feeling, mood or sentiment or experience, that is rasa, is evoked. In order to give everyone a good experience or rasa, please silence your cell phones and put them away. Please avoid all distracting movements when the dancer is on stage. Let us honor ourselves as an audience, the musicians, the dancer, and the dance by making the next couple of hours a meditative experience. Recording, taking pictures, or broadcasting this performance on social media is prohibited. If you need to exit the auditorium during the performance, please wait for the breaks in between items. We are very grateful to Cash for allowing us to use this facility. Let us be mindful of honoring this space by not bringing food or drinks into the auditorium area. If you have young children, please sit along the aisles to be able to leave if they get restless. Now, I'd like to introduce you all to the star of the evening, Medhansh Arangetram. Medhansh was introduced to Bharatanatyam at the age of 9 during a summer workshop right here in Northwest Arkansas, and he hasn't looked back since. He officially began his formal training under Vidushi Megha Rao shortly thereafter. He's also had the privilege of undergoing training with Sri Parshvanath S. Upadhyay in Bangalore, India, in addition to workshops with other eminent dancers. After 7 years of dedication and intensive training under his teacher's guidance, Medhansh is here today to present to us his Arangetram. As a senior student of Dhirana Academy, Medhansh has participated in various cultural events all over Northwest Arkansas and performed in esteemed productions such as The Exiled King and Bala, The Tale of Kanha. While in India, he earned the honor of ranking first in the state-administered Bharatanatyam exams. Medhansh recently graduated from the Haas Hall Academy, Bentonville, with high honors, and he will pursue a bachelor's degree at the University of Arkansas this fall as an honors college fellow. Medhansh also enjoys learning and playing the Carnatic violin under the training of Vidwan Sri Vittal Ramurthy. Now, I would like you all to join me in welcoming the musicians for this evening. Guru Vidushi Megha Rao on the Nattuangam, Ms. Matangi Arun will be accompanying her on the Nattuangam. Vidushi Asha Ramesh will be the voice for the evening. Vidwan Shivanand Murthy on the mridangam. And Vidwan Karthik Balachandran on the violin. We will begin this evening with the Pushpanjali, the invocatory piece of Bharatanatyam repertoire. It is a salutation to God, the Guru, and the audience, wherein the dancer offers flowers to the Lord and seeks blessings for their performance. It is typically a nritta piece where the dancer performs pure dance steps as opposed to abhinaya where there is expression. Focus is given to footwork, rhythmic movements, and the lines and angles of the body. Today's Pushpanjali has been composed by the legendary Dr. Balamurali Krishna and is set to the ragam or tune of Arabi and Adi Thalam, which is an 8-beat cycle. Additionally, Medhansh will append this opening piece with a kriti, Ananda Narthana, composed by Utukadu Venkata Subbayar and also set to Adi Thalam and the ragam of Natai. This song sings praises of Lord Ganesha, the destroyer of obstacles. It invokes his blessing for a smooth and successful performance ahead. Both pieces have been choreographed by Vidushi Megha P. Rao.
கலை வளர்ந்தோங்கிட உலகுக்கு அருள் புரியும் சத்குருவே போற்றி. கலை வளர்ந்தோங்கிட உலகுக்கு அருள் புரியும் சத்குருவே போற்றி. நிலையாய் நின்ற மூலஸ்வரூபனே கணபதியே போற்றி போற்றி. நிலையாய் நின்ற மூலஸ்வரூபனே கணபதியே போற்றி. வேலை கையில் ஏந்தி வேலை கையில் ஏந்தி வேதனை தீர்க்கும். வேலை கையில் ஏந்தி வேதனை தீர்க்கும் வேலவனே போற்றி. சிலையாய் அமர்ந்து எம்மையாளும் சிவசக்தியே போற்றி. சிலையாய் நின்று எம்மையாளும் சிவசக்தியே போற்றி. வேலவனே போற்றி. கணபதியே போற்றி. சத்குருவே போற்றி 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 போற்றி. Jim 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 Tanarada Tata Jim Tanarada Kunta Tikitaraga Kukura Jim Jim Tanarada Tata Jim Tanarada Kunta Tikitaraga Kukura Jim Jim Tanara Jim Jim Tanara Kunta Tikitaraga Kukutari Jim Jim Tanarada Jim Jim Tanara Kuntari kitta taka kukundari Jim Jim tanara tatta Jim tanara kuntari kitta taka kukundari Jim Jim tanara Jim Jim tanara kuntari kitta taka kukundari Jim Jim tanara tatta Jim tanara kuntari kitta taka kukundari Jim 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 tanara jim tanara kuntari kitadaga kundari jim jim tanara jim jim tanara kuntari kitadaga kundari jim jim tanara jim 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 tanana kuntari tataka kukundari Jim Jim tanana Jim Jim tanana kuntari kitadaga kukundari Jim Jim tanana Jim tanana kuntari kitadaga kukundari Jamata dawata tomta kalangudiyam taida tatta tendaka kukundari गणपति की ना प्रणतुलु आद्यत रहित यरल वशस गम गणपति की ना प्रणतुलु वेग भाग निभाग वर सद्गुण गम गणपति की ना प्रणतुलु वेग भाग निभाग वर सद्गुण गम गणपति की ना प्रणतुलु गम गणपति की ना प्रणतुलु गम गणपति की वै कई मोर पुलु ना प्रणतुलु कई मोर पुलु आनंदनर्तन गणपतिं भावये आनंदनर्तन गणपतिं भावये आनंदनर्तन गणपतिं भावये सदा गणपतिं भावये गणपतिं भावये परमानंद नर्दन गणपतिं भावये परमानंद नर्दन गणपतिं भावये चिदाकार मूलाधार ओंकार गजवदनं चिदाकार मूलाधार ओंकार गजवदनं परमं परमानंद नर्दन गणपतिं भावये 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 सानंद मुनीन्द्र गणानुत शिव शंकर मानस निलीय मारो सानंद मुनीन्द्र गणानुत शिव शंकर मानस निलीय मान त्रिलय समन्वित गंधर्व सारानुवरानुगेय मानम अनुपम दिव्य कलेबर शोभाय मारोरी जन मंदारम अनुपम दिव्य कलेबर शोभाय मानम भासमानम असमानम भजमानम भक्तजन सम्मानम भासमानम असमानम भजमानम भक्तजन सम्मानम पमगमरि स स स रि स तक जनु तदिमि तदक दडा कुतक पपमग ममरि स रि स रि स रि स स तक जनु तदि मि तदक दडा कुतक दीनो तदीनो तता तेय दत्तग दीनो दीनो दता दंडम तदरितं रक्कदंडम तंडम तरिते राम ताम दंडम तदरिता रक्कदंडम तंडम तरिते ताम दंडम तरिदंडम तंडम तरिताम ताम दंडम तरिदंडम तंडम तरि 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 दिमि 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 किट 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 जणु 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 दिविपदिनोदं पदसरसिजं मगपमनि पामरगदनिभं मदकरिमुखं प्रणवगनिरदं दिविपदिनोदं पदसरसिजं मगपमनि पामरगदनिभं मदकरिमुखं प्रणवनिददम् अजिदम् अनघं शुभदं परम कनकाम्बरधरये करदनम् अजिदम् अनघं शुभदं परम कनकाम्बरधरये करदनम् आनर्दन गणपति भावये सदा नर्दन गणपति भावये परमानंद गणपति भावये परमानंद गणपति भावये चिदाकार मूलाधार ओंकार गजवदनं परमं परमानंद गणपति भावये गणपतिं भावये गणपति भावये
what a power-packed start to the performance today. Next up is Jati Swaram. Jati Swaram is a dance item that helps in developing rhythmic stability. It consists of a jati and many swaras, hence the name Jati Swaram. Jatis are spoken rhythmic syllables or sollukattus like kitataka tarikitato. Try practicing some of that. Try saying kitataka tarikitato. Swaras are note patterns set to music and raga or tune. This is the first piece where students are introduced to complex rhythmic patterns, and it builds on the foundational steps that they have learned over the years. The Jati Swaram brings out three aspects of dance: the unity of music, rhythm, and movements. Ragam and Thalam are the major aspects of a Jati Swaram. It is a pure nirta item, thus Anga Shuddha or proper postures and movements in combination with a flow of melody and rhythm should evoke a sense of harmony and joy in the hearts of the spectators. The music components of Jati Swaram include a pallavi, an anupallavi, and charanas. And the dance components include a jati, the sollukattu, and several korves or steps that have been strung together with meyadavu or soft steps in between them. The dance deals with the execution of adavu or basic steps and mudras or hand gestures, combined in definite groups. Medhansh will be performing a Jati Swaram composed by the Tanjavur Quartet in Ragamalika, or a garland of ragas. The ragas in this piece are Kalyani, Begada, Atana, Suruti, Todi, and this Ragamalika, this Jati Swaram, is set to Mishra Chapu Talam, which is a 7-beat cycle. The dance choreography is by Vidushi Megha P. Rao.
Sa ni sa ti sa ni da ba da ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa ni sa ti sa ni da ba da ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa sa ni ni sa ti sa da ni da ba da ni ni da ba ma ga Tadingena tom tajam takundari kukundari rakajam takundari kukundari rajam ta tajam gardag gargar dom ta tajam gardag gargar dom ta tajam gardag gargar dom sa sa ni sa ti ti sa sa ni da ba da ni ni da ba ma ba ga ma ba da ni sa ni sa ti sa ni da ba da ni ma ba ga ma ba da ba da ni da ni sa ti sa ni da ba da ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa da sa sa ni ni da ba da ni da ba ma ba ma ga ma ba ma ba da ni sa ti sa ni sa ti sa sa ni da ba da ni sa ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa pa sa ni sa ti sa ni da ba da ni da ni da ba ma ga pa da ni sa sani sa ti ka sa ni da ba da ni ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa ma ba da ni sa 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 ni sa ti sa sa ni da ba da ni 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 da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa ni sa ti sa ni da ba da ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa ni sa ti sa 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 ni da ba da ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni sa ti ka di ri ni da ma da ni da ba ga ma da ma ga re sa re ga ma ba da ni sa ti ni da ma ga da ma ga re sa ri ni da ni sa re ga ma ba da ni sa ni sa ti sa sa ni da ba da ni magari gamada magamagari da ni da pa gari gama pada pa pada pa sa ni re sa magari sa pada pa re sa ni da pada ma gama pada pada ni sa ti sa ni da pada ni da ba ma ga ma pada ni sa da re sa ni da pa ma pa ga ma re sa ni sa re ma pa ni sa ti sa sa re sa ti sa ni da re sa ni da ni pa ma pa ga ma re sa re ma pa ni sa ti sa ga ma ti sa ti sa da ni sa ti sa ni da pa ga ma re sa ga re ni sa ni sa ti sa ni da pa da ni da ba ma ga ma pa da ni ni sa ti ti da ni sa ni da pa ri ma pa ni da ma pa da ma ga ri pa ma pa ni sa ti ti ni da ni sa ni da pa ri ma pa ni da ma pa da ma ga ri ma ri sa ri ma ga ri ma pa ni ri sa ti ni ri sa ti ti da pa ma ri ni da sa ni ri sa ni sa ti sa ni da pa da ni ni da ba ma ga ma pa da ni ga ri sa ni da ni ri ni da ma ga ma da ma ga ri sa ri ga ma da ni da ga ri sa ni da ni ri sa ni ga ma da pa ma ga ri sa ri ga ma pa da ni sa ni ga ri ni da ni da ma da ni sa ni da ma ga ri sa ri ga மபதனி சா மபதனி சா மபதனி சா.
Wow, Medhansh, you made that look effortless. We've looked at pure dance or pure nritta items so far. We're slowly progressing to more of the Abhinaya pieces. The next piece is a Devarnama. Devarnamas, or the names of the Lord, are devotional compositions that were the outcome of the Bhakti movement in South India, especially in Karnataka during the 13th and 14th century. The main objective of Devarnamas was to promote the Dvaita philosophy of Madhvacharya through literature. These compositions were by Haridasas, who were saints, philosophers, or just plain wandering bards who considered themselves as the servants of the Lord. Thus, this part or section of literature came to be known as the Dasa Sahitya, or the literature of the servants of the Lord. Though the compositions mainly dealt with the concept of Hari Bhakti, Hari being Krishna, a few composers also expounded social values, morals, and virtues as themes in Devaranamas. These compositions took an important and prominent place not only in the world of literature, but also in the vast field of art, especially Bharatanatyam. In relation to Bharatanatyam, the Devarnamas are rich in a single emotion, and that is bhakti or devotion. The emotional content is not layered. In such compositions, the devotee is seeking only the blessings of the Lord and speaks of vairagya or detachment from worldly matters. The relationship is only that of the devotee and the God, and it remains that way throughout the composition. The language is simple, and the talams are set at a medium pace. These Devarnamas should be rendered in only one of the 32 designated ragas as used by Purandaradasa. The performer is limited in conveying the meaning of the composition in most cases. Each Haridasa has a unique Ankitanama, or a signature, with which the composer has signed the song. Hanumanta Devanamo is set to Purvi Kalyani Raga and Adi Thalam, which is an 8-beat cycle. The music has been composed by Sri Purandaradasaru, and the dance choreography is by Vidushi Megha P. Rao. Devarnama.
मनोजवं मारुततुल्य वेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं मुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि 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 हनुमन्त देव नमो हनुमत देव नमो 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 बनदिगनु दाಟಿ ವನದಿಯನು ದಾಟಿ ದನವರ ದಂಡಿಸಿದ ವನದಿಯನು ದಾಟಿ ದನವರ ದಂಡಿಸಿದ ವನದಿಯನು ದಾಟಿ ದನವರ ದಂಡಿಸಿದ ರಾಮಭೃತ್ಯನು ನಿನಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾರು ಗುರುವೇ ವನದಿಯನು ದಾಟಿ ದನವರ ದಂಡಿಸಿದ ರಾಮಭೃತ್ಯನು ನಿನಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾರು ಗುರುವೇ ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ನಮೋ ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ನಮೋ 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 ರಾಮ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣರ ಕಟ್ಟಾಳಾಗಿ ನೀ ಮೆರದೆ ಭೂವಿ ಜಗೆ ಮುದ್ರೆ ಓಂಗುರವ Rama, Jai Shri Rama, Jai Shri Rama.
ಮಗಲಂಕಾನಗರವನೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಧೂಮಧಾಮವ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೆರೆದೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ. ಆ ಮಹಾಲಂಕಾನಗರವನೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಧೂಮಧಾಮವ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೆರೆದೆ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ. ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ನಮೋ ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ. ಶ್ರೀಮದಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಪುರಪತಿ ಎಂದೆನಿಪ ಶ್ರೀಮಾಲಕುಮಿ ನಾರಾಯಣ ರೂಪ. ಶ್ರೀಮದಾಚಾರ್ಯರ ಪುರಪತಿ ಎಂದೆನಿಪ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಲಕುಮಿ ನಾರಾಯಣ ರೂಪ. ಶ್ರೀ ಮನೋಹರ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಮನದಾಡು ಹನುಮಂತ ಬಲವಂತ. ಶ್ರೀ ಮನೋಹರ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಮನದಾಡು ಹನುಮಂತ ಬಲವಂತ. ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ಹನುಮಂತ ದೇವ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ಹನುಮಂತ
हनुमन्त देव नमो हनुमन्त देवा बलवन्त देवा श्रीरामदूत नमो 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 श्रीरामदूत नमो 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 हनुमन्त नमो
Wow, can we have one more round of applause for that? I think not only the choreography, it needs special mention. It's the execution as well. He brought to life the bhakti or the devotion that Hanuman has for Sri Ramachandra. And at the end, when he opens his chest to show the Lord resides within him. Thank you. I'm just at a loss of words for that. To conclude the first half of this Margam, Medhansh will perform the longest and the most complicated piece, the complex piece in his repertoire, the Varnam. The word Varnam, when translated from Sanskrit, means to paint or to draw a picture. In Bharatanatyam, dancers do just that, combining pure dance or footwork, involving complex footwork, and detailed mudras or hand gestures, and the dramatic elements using body language, heartfelt emotions to tell stories on stage. The music is similarly varied. Heavily detailed lyrical stanzas or sahityams give way to simple notations or swarams, which in turn are followed by plain rhythmic sections or jatis. The Varnam is a demanding number which tests not only the stamina of a dancer, it's close to 40 minutes, but the training and the skill and the imaginative faculty of a dancer to capture the audience's attention while successfully alternating between dance and storytelling through abhinaya. When all of the Varnam's many elements come together, it becomes an audio-visual spectacle. It is the central piece of today's performance and showcases the foundation on which Medhansh will continue to build on moving forward as a more experienced dancer. Today's Varnam, Swami Naan Undan Adimai, is set in the ragam of Natakurunji and set to Adithalam. If you recall, it's the 8-beat cycle. This piece is dedicated to Lord Shiva and as such makes Nataraja, or the dancing form of Shiva, the main focus of its two main sancharis, or the storylines. The first sanchari is a story of Kannappan, a hunter who discovers a neglected Shiva Linga deep in the forest. Despite not knowing how to worship Shiva, he washes and cleans the lingam, offering flowers as an offering. When he does not find any fruits, he offers the Lord raw meat. Kannappa also notices that one of the eyes of the Shiva Linga is oozing blood and tears. Sensing that the Lord Shiva's eyes had been injured, he eventually proceeds to pluck his own eyes out with his arrows and places it in the spot of the bleeding eye of the Shiva Linga. Moved by his extreme devotion, Lord Shiva appears before him and restores his eyes and liberates Kannappa, making him one of the 63 Nayanmars. or Shiva devotees. This is believed to be a true story, so Medhansh will be performing that in the first Sanchari. The second Sanchari, or the storyline, depicts the story of King Daksha. Goddess Parvati, incarnated as Sati, Shiva's wife, the daughter of King Daksha. She went against her husband's wish, uninvited, to the yajna, or the sacrificial fire ceremony conducted by her father, King Daksha. When she hears that her own father insults her husband, she jumps into the sacrificial fire and perishes. This enrages the Lord to fight and kill King Daksha and his army. Shiva then carries the wife's body away and sits in penance for years. Varnam in Ragam Natakurunji, Talam Adi.
குரேத்த புருவமும் குவை செவ்வாயில் குமிழ் சிரிப்பும் பனித்த சடையும் சடையும் அவளும் போல் மேனியிற் பால் வெண்ணீரும் இனித்தமுடைய எடுத்த பொற்பாதமும் பாதமும் காண பெற்ற மனித பிறவியும் வேண்டுவதே இந்த மாநிலத்தே இந்த மாநிலத்தே இந்த சுவாமியினகன் புந்தன் அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியும்பே சுவாமியினகனுந்தன் அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியுமே சுவாமி
திங்கிண்ணத்தோம் ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம சிவாய சிவாய Shivaya Nama Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om. Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Hara Hara Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Hara Hara Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya. Tadinginatum Shivaya Namah Om.
Swami சுவாமி உனது அடிமை சுவாமி சுவாமி நான் உனது அடிமை என்று உலகமில்ல கமறியுமே சுவாமி நான் உனது அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியுமே சுவாமி நான் உனது அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியுமே சுவாமி நான் உனது அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியுமே சுவாமி நான் உந்தன் அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியுமே சுவாமி நான் உந்தன் அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம்
ரக்க தத்தின் தக்க தத்தின் தக்க ரக தத்தின் தக்க தத்தின் தக்க ஜணு தத்தின் தக்க தத்தின் தக்க தளங்கு தக்க தளங்கு தும் ததிங்கின தும் தத்தஜம் தத்தஜம் தக்க தத்தஜம் தத்தஜம் தக்கஜம் தக்க நக்கஜம் தக்கஜம் தகனகஜம் தத்தி கிட்ட தக்க ததி கிட்ட தகத தத்தஜம் தத்தஜம் தக்க தத்தஜம் தத்தஜம் தக்கஜம் தக்க நக்கஜம் தக்கஜம் தகனகஜம் தத்தி கிட்ட தக்க ததி கிட்ட தக தகனகஜம் ஜம்த ஜம்தரி கிட்ட தக தக்க நக்க தகனகத ஜம் தத்தரி கிட்ட தக தகனகஜம் ஜம்தை ஜம்தரி கிட்ட தக தக்க நக்க தகனகத ஜம் தத்தரி கிட்ட தக தத்தெத்த கணகஜம் தரி கிட்ட தக தாதெத்த ரத்தெத்த ரடங்குதும் கெடதர்தும் 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 தெத்த கணகஜம் ஜம் தரி கிட்ட தக தாதெத்த ரத்தெத்த தடங்குதும் தக்கெடதர்தும் 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 தக்கணகஜம் ஜம் ஜம் தரி கிட்ட தக தாதெத்த ரத்தெத்த தர்தும் தர்தும் தக்கதி குகெடதர்தும் தக்கதி குகெடதர்தும் தக்கதி குகெடதர்தும்
சுவாமி நானும் தனடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியும் பேதாமதம் செய்யதெனி வந்தருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே சதாமதம் செய்யதே வந்தருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே சதாமதம் செய்யதே வந்தருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே சகதாமதம் செய்யதவதருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூகுதேயே சகதாமதம் செய்யதே நிவதருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே சகதாமதம் செய்யதே நிவதருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே
தக்க தக்கிட்ட 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 தக்க தக்க தக்கிட்ட 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 தக்க தக்க தக்கிட்ட 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 தக்க
செய்யாதே வந்தருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே சதாமதம் செய்யாதே நிவதருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே சதாமதம் செய்யாதே வந்தருள் பங்கா பூதேயே சகதாபதம் செய்யாதே வந்தருள் மாதோர் பங்கா பூதேயே சகதாபதம் செய்யாதே வந்தருள் மாதோர் பங்கா
தள்ளும் உதக்க திக்குதக்க ததிங்கிண்ண தோம் தோதெந்தெண்ணம் தெத்தெண்ணம் தெத்தெண்ணம் திமிக்கிட்ட தக்க தோதிண்ணம் தக்கத்த தோம் தத்தோம் ததிண்ணம் தக்கத்த தோம் தத்தோம் தோதெந்தெண்ணம் தெத்தெண்ணம் தெத்தெண்ணம் திமிக்கிட்ட தக்க தோதிண்ணம் தக்கத்த தோம் தத்தோம் ததிண்ணம் தக்கத்த தோம் தத்தோம் தோதிண்ணம் ததிமி தோதெந்தெண்ணம் ததிமி தோம் ரத்தோம் தோதிண்ணம் ததிமி தோதிண்ணம் ததிமி தோம் ரத்தோம் தோதிண்ணம் திண்ணம் ஜம் ததிம் ததோம் ததிங்கிண்ணத்தம் ஜம் ததிம் ததோம் தக்க ததிங்கிண்ணத்தம் ஜம் ததிம் ததோம் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிண்ணத்தம்
காமதம் ஸ்ரீயாதவதர் மாதோர் பங்கா ஓ தேஷ நாமாமிருத பானமே என் ஜீவனமே என்று நம்பினேனே உன்னாமாமிருத பானமே என் ஜீவனமே என்று நம்பினேனே நம சிவாய நம சிவாய சிவாய நம ஓம் நம சிவாய சிவாய நம ஓம் நம சிவாய 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 சிவாய நம முல்தன்னாமாமிருத பானமே என் ஜீவனமே என்று நம்பினேனே உல்நாமாமிருத பானமே என் ஜீவனமே என்று நம்பினேனே ராமாமிருத பானமே என் ஜீவனமே என்று நம்பினேனே ராமாமிருத பானமே என் ஜீவனமே
தள்ளங் உதக்க திக்குதக்க ததிங்கிண்ண தோம் தத்தடீம் திம் திம் ததீம் திம் திம் ததக்க ததீம் திம் திம் ததீம் திம் திம் கிருதக் ததீம் திம் திம் ததீம் திம் திம் ததஜம் ததக ஜம் ததோம் ததீம் கிருதக் தர்கதும் திம் திமி திமி தோதி திமி திமி ததிம் திம் தக்கிணம் ததகிணம் கிண கிண கிணா கிட்ட திம் திமி திமி தோதி திமி திமி ததிம் திம் தக்கிணம் ததகிணம் கிண கிண கிணா கிட்ட திம் திமி ததிமி த கிண தத்த ஜம் தரி கிண தாங்கு கிண கிண தாங்கு தகிட்ட ஜம் தரி திம் திமி ததிமி த கிண தத்த ஜம் தரி கிண தாங்கு கிண கிண தாங்கு தகிட்ட ஜம் தரி திம் திமி ததிமி த ஜம் தத்த தீங்கு தக திம் திமி ததிமி த ஜம் தத்த தீங்கு தக கிண கிண தத் கிண ததிம் ரக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிண தும் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிண தும் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிண தும் கிண கிண தத் கிண ததிம் ரக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிண தும் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிண தும் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிண தும் கிருதக் தர்கதும் கிருதக் தர்கதும் தர்கதும் தக்க திக்கு கிருதக் தர்கதும் தக்க திக்கு கிருதக் தர்கதும் தக்க திக்கு கிருதக் தர்கதும்
நாமாமிருத பானமே என் ஜீவனமே என்று நம்பினேனே நடனமாடு சேவடி தரிசனம் என்று கிடைக்கும் எனவே ஏங்கினேனே 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 சா 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 நிதோ நிதோ ம ம ம ம க ம க ச நிதோ த தி ச ச ம க ம த நி ச நிதோ நிதோ ம ம க க ம க ச நிதோ த நி ச ச ம க ம த நி ச ரி க ம க ம க ச நி ரி ச டி ச டி ரி க த ம க ச ரி க ம த நி சுவாமி கிட உந்தனடி என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியுமே நடனமாடு சேவடி தரிசனம் என்று கிடைக்கும் எனவே ஏங்கினேனே செல் ஜடாடவியில் இளம் பிறை தெய்வகங்கையும் ஓராரவும் ஆடகிழனதை தவற்றும் செவ்விதழுடத்ததில் என்ற சிற்றம்பலம் தனில் ஆடும் சுவாமியின உள்தனடிமை என்று உலகமறியுமே செல்ல ஜடரடவியில் இளம் பிறை தெய்வகங்கையும் ஓராரவும் ஆடகிழனதை தவற்றும் செவ்விதழுடத்ததில் என சிற்றம் பலம் தனில் ஆடும் சுவாமியினகனுந்த அடிமை என்று உலகம் எல்லாம் அறியு மிகில் சுவாமி சுவாமி என் சுவாமி உந்தன் அடிமை நான் என் சுவாமி 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 நடராஜ தேவா நடராஜ தேவா நடராஜ தேவா
ಧಳಂ ಕುತಕದಿ ಕುತಕತ ದಿಂಗಿಣ ತೋಂ ಜೈ ಕುಡು ಜಂಡ ಕಿಟ್ಟ ಜಣ ಕಿಟ ಕಿಟ ತಕ ಜಣ ಕಿಟ ಕಿಟ ತಕ ತಕ್ ಕಿಟ ಧಿಕ್ ಕಿಟ ತೋಂ ಕಿಟ ನಂ ಕಿಟ ತತ್ತ ಧೀಂ ಕಿಟ ತಕ ತೋಂ ಜೈ ಕುಡು ಜಂಡ ಕಿಟ್ಟ ಜಣ ಕಿಟ ಕಿಟ ತಕ ಜಣ ಕಿಟ ಕಿಟ ತಕ್ ಕಿಟ ಧಿಕ್ ಕಿಟ ತೋಂ ಕಿಟ ನಂ ಕಿಟ ತತ್ತ ಧೀಂ ಕಿಟ ತಕ ತೋಂ ಜೈ ಕುಡು ಜಂಡ ಜಂಡ ಕಿಟ್ಟ ಜಣ ಕಿಟ ಕಿಟ ತಕ ಜಣ ಕಿಟ ಕಿಟ ತಕ ತತ್ತ ತ ಜಂ ದೆತ್ತ ತ ಜಂ ಜಂ கிடதர்கிடம் ஜெய குடு ஜண்ண ஜண்ண கிட்ட ஜன கிட்ட கிட்ட தக்க ஜன கிட்ட கிட்ட தக்க தத்தா தஜம் தெத்தா தஜம் தா தஜம் தஜம் ஜம் கிடதர்கிடம் ஜெய குடு ஜண்ண 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 ஜன குகுந்த ஜெய குடு ஜண்ண 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 ஜன குகுந்த ஜெய குடு ஜண்ண ஜன கிட்ட கிட்ட தக்க ஜெய குடு ஜண்ண ஜன கிட்ட கிட்ட தக்க ததிங்கிணதம் தக்க ததிங்கிணதம் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிணதம் தக்க ததிங்கிணதம் தக்க ததிங்கிணதம் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிணதம் தை ததிங்கிணதம் தக்க ததிங்கிணதம் தக்க திக்கு ததிங்கிணதம்
நககட ஜககக தேவா சச்சிதானந்த நடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த நடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த மக ಸ ಸ ನೀ ರೇ ಸ ನೀ ದ ನೀ ಸ ದಿ ಸರಿ ಗ ಮ ಮ ಮ ಗ ಸ ಸ ನೀ ರೇ ಸ ರೇ ನಿ ದ ದ ನೀ ಸ ಸ ದಿ ಸರಿ ಗ ನ ಗ ಗ ಟ ರ ಜ ಗ ಗ ಗ ದಿ ಗೆ ಮ ಸ ಚಿ ದ ಗ ಅನಂತ ನಟರಾಜ ದೇವ சச்சிதானந்தகாடும் நின்னழகில் காதல் கொண்ட இவளை பார் ஆடும் நின் அழகில் காதல் கொண்ட இவளை பார் ஆடும் நின் அழகில் காதல் கொண்டு இவளை பார் சச்சிதானந்த நடரா ஆனந்த மக மக சனி சதி கட்டி க மதரி சதி த மக சனி சதி சரி க மம்ம ச ச ச க க க க மதரி சதி த மக சனி சரி க நட ராஜ க க தே ஆனந்த நடராஜ தேவ நந்தி பிருங்கி சிவகடம் முனிவர்களும் இந்திரனுதல மர கோட்டிகள் பணியும் நந்தி பிருங்கி சிவகணம் முனிவர்களும் இந்திரனுதல் அமர கோடிகள் பணியும் நந்தி பிருங்கி சிவகணம் முனிவர்கள் இந்திரனுதல மர கோட்டிகள் பணி நடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த நடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த தானித மகம தமாக மக சனி சதானி தனி ச கமாத பகமத தனி சதி சானித மதனி தனி தபகமத நித மக சதி ததி ச விகனடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த நடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த புன்னகை தவழிதழின் அழகையும் கடை கண்ணழகையும் கண்டார் மறுபடையை செல்ஜடையை தோலுடையை மரகஜனடையை நினைந்துருகும் இவளையாண்டருள் நடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த புன்னகை தவழிதழின் அழகையும் கடை கண்ணழகையும் கண்டார் மறுபடையை செல்ஜடையை தோலுடையை மரகஜனடையை நினைந்துருகும் சச்சிதானந்த நடராஜ தேவா சச்சிதானந்த சா ரே சதா நித மக மக சா ரே க ம த நி சா da ma ga sa sa re ga ma da ni sa ni da ni da ma ga sa ma ga da ma ni da sa ni da ma ga ma ni da sa re ga ma ga sa ni re so di da ri sa di da ma ga ga re re sa ni da ni sa re ga ma da ma da ni da ni sa re ga ma ga sa di da ma ga sa ni da ni Anand Nataraja Deva Devaya Swami Nataraja Swami Chidambaranada in Swami.
How about that? One more round of applause, please. Again, he made it seem so effortless, and he danced with the same amount of energy at the beginning of the piece all the way up to half an hour later when he's still going. And I think if you leave it up to him, he's ready to come back on stage to continue. But we'll give him a little bit of a breather, and we want to acknowledge a few people today. We're starting with the musicians. So I'd like to now invite Anand and Nandini onto the stage, please. I think you would all agree when I say that not only was it a visual treat, it was a treat to the ears as well. So I'd like to now call upon our musicians for the evening, and we'd like to honor them. I'd first like to invite Vidushi Asha Ramesh, the voice, the beautiful, melodious, bhava-laden voice. Srimati Asha Ramesh is a resident of San Jose, California, and she's a highly accomplished vocalist, as we all have seen, and she's been enthralling listeners worldwide with her mellifluous voice and bhava-laden renditions. She's a disciple of Sangeeta Kalanidhi Sri D.K. Jayaraman and Nanganallur V. Ramanathan. Ashaji has won several awards in recognition of her immense talent, including the Rajaji Memorial Tambura Award and the Swaminatha Pillai Memorial Gold Medal. She has composed music for numerous dance productions and for the documentary film The Visitor. The titles bestowed upon her include Gana Kala Bhushani, Gana Kala Ratnam, Madhura Isaivani, and Isai Arasi. Ashaji is also an accomplished Hindustani bhajan singer. She's one of the very few vocalists who excel both in Carnatic music and dance music, and has provided vocal support to several Bharatanatyam and Kathak recitals over the last several years. During the Music Festival of Chennai in 2010, Ashaji was awarded the Vijayalakshmi Memorial Award for the Best Vocalist for Dance by the prestigious Sri Krishna Gana Sabha in Chennai. As a concert musician, she has performed frequently in the US, Canada, India, UK, and the Netherlands. Ashaji is the founder and the artistic director of Ragamalika School of Music in San Jose, California, and she's been running this since 1992. Can you have another round of applause, please? Next, I'd like to invite Vidwan Shivanandamurthy, our mridangist for this evening. Vidwan Shivanandamurthy is a very talented mridangam player who started learning mridangam at the age of 7 from his uncle Vidwan Surli Ganesh Murthy, an accomplished mridangist in Doordarshan and All India Radio. Shivaji takes his advanced lessons from Sri Mushnam V. Raja Rao, a very well-known mridangist. Shivaji has passed his advanced Talavadya examinations with distinction. He has accompanied several leading artists in concerts in India and in the US. Shivaji is a software engineer by profession, currently based in the Kansas City area. Please, a round of applause. His playing is characterized by pleasing sound and musicality. I would like to next invite Vidwan Karthik Balachandran, our violinist for the evening. Sri Karthik Balachandran has learned violin in Singapore from Srimati Dhanadevi Mitradeva and Sri K. Sivaraman, both senior disciples of Professor Sri T.N. Krishnan. He was awarded the title of Vadya Visharad in 1999 by the Singapore Indian Fine Arts Society. Over the past 25 years, Karthik has given many solo concerts and accompanied numerous artists, both vocal and dance, in Singapore and in the United States. He was a part of the Singapore Indian Orchestra and Choir and has toured Australia, India, Japan, Malaysia, Hong Kong with the group. As a violin teacher, he's been teaching students across the United States and right here in Northwest Arkansas. He's trained several students in the US to perform their solo violin Arangetram concerts. Karthik is also trained in Western classical music and plays the keyboard and cello. Karthik is a regular contributor to local shows in the Northwest Arkansas region and other neighboring states. He's currently an associate professor in engineering at the University of Arkansas. I'd like to now welcome Matangi Arun, Miss Matangi Arun on stage. She's a budding talent from right here, from someone who's grown up in the midst of all of us, right here in Northwest Arkansas. Matangi Arun is a recent graduate of the Bentonville High School. She started her Bharatanatyam career with Vidushi Meghapi Rao at the age of 6 at Dhirana Academy. And she completed her Arangetram in the summer of 2018 at the age of 14. She has participated in various workshops and intensives led by artists such as Rukmini Vijaykumar and Rama Vaidyanathan, and has been an assistant dance instructor at the Dhirana Academy for about 4 years now. She has performed at numerous community events, including Manvasane, Bentonville First Friday, and various temple ceremonies. With Dhirana Academy, she's performed dance dramas such as The Exiled King at the Walton Arts Center in 2021, and Bala, The Tale of Kanha at Pradarshana 2021. She's participated in Rave Cultural Foundation's professional series, performing Ardhanari, a duet Margam with Vidushi Meghapi Rao. Matangi plans to pursue a double major in political science and international business as an incoming honors college fellow at the University of Arkansas this coming fall. Another round of applause, please. I would love to now invite Srividya Venkatasubramanya, the founding president and current executive director of Rave Cultural Foundation, on stage. Srividya also happens to be a very, very close friend of Nandini's, and she'd like to share a few words about Medhansh and his journey as a dancer and as a kid.
I'm not going to look at the time. I'm just going to keep talking.
I'm going to tell all the stories of Medhansh. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I mean, I just want to say this first before I talk about Medhansh. When Nandini and I met almost, I don't know, whatever, 10, 14 years ago or something over here, I think both of us moved to this place, Bentonville, and we didn't know a soul, and we met, and we became friends, and both of us were bothered, very bothered about how to bring up our children in a place like this where there weren't any opportunities to teach them and inculcate in them our culture, our mother culture. So it was a very big challenge, but here we are. I just wanted to say that because today I really see that culmination of all those years of us desiring that our children should be able to keep in touch with their motherland, with our motherland, here in their motherland where they have been born and grown up. I have literally seen Medhansh from this height all the way to this height. Even I have to look up at him. And he was this very curious 3-year-old who very naturally became his age is right in between Matangi and Anirudh. So he's like my third kid. He's my kid from another mom. And the three of them, oh my gosh, have painted this town red. And watch out, all you professors at University of Arkansas, they are headed towards you. Good luck. We look forward to some peace in Bentonville. Medhansh, from a very young age, showed, I don't have to really tell many of you who already know him, but for those who don't, he has amazing memory and intellectual prowess, which his mother fed very well from the time he was, I don't know, from the time he was born, I guess. His ability to read, understand, remember, recall, process is amazing. Has his Kumon teacher. There was a point I had to tell his mom, you know, because they were getting anxious about him not being challenged enough in academics, because pretty much anything you threw at him, he would grasp. So then I told her, I remember having this conversation with her, I said, okay, go to the arts. Because the arts provide a challenge that cannot be achieved academically. You can have great memory power, you can remember, you know, all those, I don't know if you were watching Megha say all those rhythms to which he was dancing. I mean, one thing is to dance, another thing is to say it. So you can remember it, but then to bring it, you know, to make it happen, to dance, and he also plays the violin. He learns Carnatic violin and Western violin. And, you know, again, to bring not just notes, but to play a song on a violin is not easy. It's not at all easy. So thanks to the arts, this child was kept busy. So we are very grateful for this community who appreciates this art, because if the appreciation were not there, these children would not have ever continued with what they started learning. So thank you all. Thank you so much for supporting the children, especially Medhansh today. I think my hands are, I just can't wait for the second half, and it's, truly my heart is full. It's full. And I think it's going to overflow soon. If you see me cry, just pretend you didn't, okay? And I will see you all soon afterwards at the end. Thank you so much for coming and supporting him today. Thank you.
Thank you, Srividya. Very well said. I'd like to now call Anand onto stage to say a few words. Anand.
Hello, good evening. Thanks everyone for coming and gracing the occasion of Medhansh's Arangetram. I'm Anand Shankaran. For those of you who don't know, I'm Medhansh's dad. I think I'm more known as Medhansh's dad than Anand. I have a story to tell about Medhansh, but I also have a story to talk about, like the 4 factors which contribute to what Medhansh is doing today and where he is today. First of all, like Vidya said, there are a lot of stories about this area, right? But when we moved, when he was about 2 years, when he was about 7 years old in 2nd grade, Sri Vidya said that he was not like really academically challenged, and he was in a school where there were grades till like maybe 8th or 9th grade or 10th grade maybe, and when he was in 2nd grade, he won the school spelling bee, and he was supposed to go to the regionals, and his mom and him, actually his idea was to actually skip the spelling bee and go to take part in a Pongal dance, right? And I was like completely flabbergasted, and I was like, what is this? You don't have your priorities right. And his mom supported him a lot, right? And so where did he go? He went and attended the Pongal dance. He skipped the regional spelling bee. Thank God, because he didn't want to go the spelling route. Little did I know that 2 years later, what I thought would be a passing fad had become an obsession and a passion, right? He started when he was 9, and he's been dancing for 7 years. What are the 4 factors, right? Like he has that passion, he has that intent, he's got the commitment. But there are 4 other factors which are required to egg him on. Factor number 1 is God's grace. Without God's grace, nothing is possible. I feel like anybody who in their life is introduced to art is by the grace of God. Without divine intervention, you cannot get into art. It's a great feeling, right? Next, I think the most important person in his life is Nandini. Without Nandini's grooming, without Nandini's push sometimes, Medhansh could not have got where he is. And then the third would be his guru, right? Vidushi Megha P. Rao, big hand for her again. Not only Medhansh, but several children here are taking advantage of her commitment. I'm amazed at how much she puts into this, right? He was also, when we were going to India, we were wondering, and everything, all our decisions in India was revolving around Medhansh, right? How far is his violin teacher? How far is his dance class? It doesn't matter like how long it took for me to get to work, right? That was secondary. So we went to India, and we got, through Megha, we got like Parshvanath Upadhyay, and I have to thank him, wherever he's listening and watching. It's amazing that when you talk about, Parshvanath Upadhyay, to others, people who are in the know, they're like, wow, you're like so blessed that you got a teacher like him. So I hope he has done 10% of what Parshvanath is like capable of. You guys who are interested in dance, watch out his videos on YouTube. You'll love it, right? And last but not the least, you, right? Audience, relatives. There are so many of our relatives and friends watching from all over the world and egging him on. They want to focus more on the video and like see his abhinaya. That's the interest they have on him. We promise that we'll show you that video after. You cannot do that on live. But all the people all his friends, all the people who dance with him, they're all the source of inspiration for him. So those are the 4 factors. We are so blessed to live in this community and be a participant in all these activities. So I also am waiting for the second half, and not just, this is just the Arangetram, right? Like he has to start here. There is another event later this month, and I hope there are multiple years ahead of him. He should just enjoy whatever he's passionate about and have a healthy, happy life. That's all I pray to God for. Thank you very much.
We say Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. So we've talked to the Pita and he's mentioned the Mata. Now next is the turn of Guru. What can we say about Megha? Vidushi Megha P. Rao began her studies in dance at the age of 7 under eminent Guru Somashekar. Later, she continued to learn under the guidance of the distinguished exponent of Bharatanatyam, Guru Srimati Dr. Chaitana Radhakrishnan. As an accomplished and dedicated artist of Bharatanatyam, Megha has over 20 years of experience both as a performer and as a teacher. She's a graded Doordarshan artist. Over the past decade, she has extended her creative journey in choreographing, combining many dance forms, Indian dance forms, and she uniquely conceptualizes and choreographs productions. Some examples that come to mind are the Navarasa Margam, the Exiled King, Ardhanari, and Bala, the Tale of Kanha. As a note, we are performing Bala in the Walton Arts Center later this month, so please be sure to grab your tickets for that. Just a plug in there. In recognition of her contribution to the performing arts in Northwest Arkansas, she was recently awarded a grant by Artist 360, a program of Mid-America Arts Alliance, to support her dance production, Bala, at the Walton Arts Center. She is the artistic director of Dhirana Academy of Classical Dance, and this is based in Bentonville, Arkansas. Dhirana has been a staple at almost every cultural event in Northwest Arkansas, showcasing the artistry and versatility of Bharatanatyam, while fostering invaluable collaborations with like-minded artists from many other disciplines. She also works with school districts and other organizations to bring Bharatanatyam to the community. Her goal is to bridge the gap between society and this classical art form by inspiring, educating, guiding, and building these talents, these budding talents. Since 1996, she has presented over 1,000 dance performances across India and the US. She is a true treasure to the community, and I'd like you all to welcome her on stage with a round of applause. Megha will now say a few words.
Namaste. I'd like to thank you all for being here in person and online. A performance without an audience is like flower without color. Audience are an integral part of any dance performance, and again, thank you all for being here, and it means a lot to us. Medhansh is a talented and very keen learner. When Nandini first joined, Nandini was the first who joined me for Bharatanatyam, and you should look at her form. It's like mother, like son. So Medhansh would just sit and observe. Although he was interested, which was very evident in his eyes, he had his own reservations being a guy learning Bharatanatyam. So he took his own sweet time to ease into dancing. But once he started dancing, the one thing that was and is evident in the boy is his dedication, passion, hardworking skills, and his height. He's so tall, and I have to mention this because it's not easy for tall people to dance Bharatanatyam, because you have to sit half your height for Aramandi. So to manage his limbs was very difficult because he has obviously long limbs. In comparison with an average person, it's very difficult for tall people to actually dance. But with Medhansh, he made it a point to eliminate all his negative points and corrections and gracefully turned it into his strengths. That is Medhansh to all of you. He's a very proud student of the Rana Academy of Classical Dance, a role model to his juniors and a tough competitor to his peers. I would hope that he would continue to, if you are hearing this, Medhansh, I hope that you will continue to learn and perform Bharatanatyam for the rest of your life. And wish him all the best for his future endeavors. Can I have Medhansh on stage, please?
Who's ready to begin the second half of the performance? The second half is going to be a little shorter than the first half, but it's not going to be wanting for any action on stage. I think starting with that. We will now continue the performance with a Kirtanam. Shankara Shrigiri. Kirtanam is an Abhinaya piece, and it deals with the glories of the Lord again. They are set in light ragas, and they are sung in Madhyama Kala or medium tempo. The Sahityam, or the core of the song, narrates prayers and stories from the Puranas, and thus the basic bhava of this Kirtanam is Bhakti. Bhakti is the devotional worship directed to one supreme deity, so as to attain salvation regardless of caste, creed, class, or gender. This Kirtanam includes a Pallavi, Anupallavi, and Charanas. Kirtana is an Abhinaya piece in which the dancer will portray a story through facial expressions and demonstrative hand gestures. Can I request the parents to please manage your children? Shankara Shrigiri is a composition by Maharaja Swati Tirunal in Ragam Hamsanandi. The song describes how the Lord Shankara, the god of the mountain, is dancing in Chitra Sabha with the holy ash and the third eye on his forehead, the garland of Rudraksha adorning the neck. He dances along with Bhringi and other Bhutaganas. The celestials and ascetics appear in the sky playing the instruments with the sound of Janana Janana and Ghum Ghum. With perfect melody and laya, he dwells in the heart of Lord Padmanabha. Shankara Shrigiri in Ragam Hamsanandi and Aditalam. This dance has also been choreographed by Vidushi Megha P. Rao.
शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु 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 के नृत्य विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के नृत्य विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के नृत्य विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के हृदय विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के हृदय विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के हृदय विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के हृदय विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु नाद प्रभु भस्म त्रिनेत्र गले रुंड माला 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 भूतन के संग नाचत भृंगी भूतन के संग नाचत भृंगी शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के हृदय विराजित चित्र स्वभावे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के जनन 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 घुंघरू बाजे 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 देव मुनि सब गगन विराजे जनन 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 घुंघरू बाजे देव मुनि सब गगन विराजे शङ्कर श्रीगिरि नाद प्रभु के सभा में विराजित तातैत केट